Hello. Guess what time it is? Shayna has a thought and she's gonna share it on a video. It's that time of the night. Now I always say it's a quick thought and it usually turns into a 20-minute video. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. But I have some thoughts and I don't know who agrees with me and who doesn't agree with me, but there's always all this talk going on about, feminism and equality and all of that business. And now look, I'm a woman, clearly, and I'm all about, equal pay and and all of that business. Like, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. But I think some of you ladies, you're taking it overboard. Like, I don't know how else to put it other than like tone it down a notch. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by this is we are different than men. Men and women are different in many ways other than just physicalities. And I think that that is something to be embraced. And, all joking aside, this topic, I was talking with my mother about this earlier today to see what her opinion was because it drives me a little bit crazy sometimes. And I feel like it started off with a good cause because, back in the day when women couldn't vote and things like that, like, feminism and all that, like that needed to be there. I agree. Like we should have been able to vote. And I'm glad that that happened because I'm glad that I can vote. So there was a time and place for this like hoorah, thing. But I feel like we've kind of just gone overboard, guys. I mean, come on. It's like, where do you draw the line? Like, how equal to men do you really want to be? And I don't mean that in an equal as, your life meaning as a human being or anything like that. Like, trust me, I'm not like a 50s chick. And as Jonah Hill would say, a 50s housewife and my dreams don't matter. That's not what I'm promoting, but I feel like people have lost their ability to find the boundary line of normal things that should be fought for, rights, for women and things like that. But then it's just gone so full force that it's like we want to be men. And I don't want to be a man. I like when a man opens the door for me. And I'm not one of those chicks who's offended by that. Like, I can get the door myself, dude. What are you trying to say? I'm weak. I'm a weaker species, so I can't open the door myself. I mean, I know it's an extreme. I know most women aren't like that. But, I mean, you get my point. I'm just giving extreme examples here because I'm trying to make a point. And, same thing. I mean, there's so many different categories I could talk about. There's, even with, there's the whole double standard thing. Like, why can a guy sleep with 10 girls and it's cool and he gets high fives from his buddies, and then when a girl goes out and is promiscuous, she's, a slut? And, I was thinking about this, and I think that we are the moral compass for men a lot of times, like, I mean, I think just naturally the way that things are and physically and scientifically and all that kind of stuff, we're not supposed to be that way. Like guys have their dude instincts or whatever, and then they're supposed to see that woman who is this standard, who holds herself to this standard, and it's like, whoa, let me straighten up my act and, be a better man so I can win this amazing woman over. Like, our standards are supposed to be up here, and if they start out here or whatever, like we're supposed to bring that up, and not come down to this like, well, I want to be able to sleep with 10 guys and I don't want to hear anything about it because guys can do it. And like, is that really like, like what are we learning there? So you want the freedom to be able to not be called a slut by sleeping around? Like, no, I think women should hold themselves to a higher standard. I just do. Yeah, it'd be great if, guys, but that, again, we're going into the science of physicalness, and that's a different topic. That's just one category of things. But there's just a lot of areas where I think that as human beings, yes, I think we're equal in that sense of the value of our lives and our dreams and all of that kind of stuff. I'm a firm believer of that, and I promote that, Women should be paid the same as men, fine. But, when it comes to other aspects emotionally and, so many other areas, I just feel like we are different. hold on, I almost disappeared there. We are different, okay? Like, deal with it. Accept it. I don't think we were supposed to be created as completely, like, don't you understand the balance between a man and the masculinism? Is that a word? You know, a man being in his masculine state and all the things that come with being a man. There are certain things that go on with men in their brains and in their bodies that women, we're not born with. We don't have that same chemical thing going on, and vice versa. You know, I don't want dudes to be like women, and I don't want women to be like dudes. Like, I think the whole point of men and women is, that was Samuel the pug, or pig, whatever you want to call him. But that polarity, you know, like, that's the beauty in men and women, is their differences, you know. And yes, of course, morally there are certain things that we are equal as human beings, but let's not go overboard, you guys. Like, we're different, and that's okay. That's a beautiful thing. It's what makes us mesh together, you know. Opposites attract. Like, I mean, all of that. I mean, I could seriously talk about this for days and probably list about 50 other examples of what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to not make this a 15-minute video like I always do, so I'm going to try to cut it off at 7:30. 7 minutes and 30 seconds is my goal, you know. And so without going into a ton of details, because I could, and I can rant about this, and I could step up on my soapbox, and I can go on for a good half hour about all of the specific differences between men and women that I think are great differences and should be embraced, and we can learn from each other, and we can balance each other out, and it's a beautiful thing. But I will pull myself back and hope that you just understand the main point of my message, and that, yes, stand up for, you know, the right things. I don't think I need to list them. I think it's obvious what makes us equal as human beings, but I feel like some women need to really just chill out and stop trying to be men, because we're not, and I'm glad that I'm not, you know. Like, I like having the man in my life as a man, and he's a man, you know, and I get to be a woman, I get to be a woman because he is that man. Like, I don't want to, you know, he doesn't want a man, and I don't want a woman man. You know what I'm saying? Like, embrace the differences. We are different, you know. Like, when we say, like, we are equal to men, like, no, we're not. You know, we're not the same. And by equal, I mean same. You know, we're equal as human beings, but we're not the same. We're just not. And I know I'm repeating myself now because it's really hard for me to not get detailed. But I'm really trying to cut this thing short. And I'm already at 7:30, so I'm going to stop the video now. Just something to think about. Share your opinions. I want to know what you guys have to say, because I have a lot of friends with a lot of different opinions, and I'm sensitive to that, and I'm open to it, and I love a healthy discussion or debate. And I just want to know where all of you stand, because just from my experiences with a lot of people, I just kind of feel like women need to be women, you know, own your womanness, and let men be men, and let them, you know, I mean, I just feel like the society has taken a crazy twist and a turn, and, you know, it started with a good intention, and it's just kind of spiraling and going into places that it just does not need to go. And that's my opinion. So if you want me to elaborate and create another video that is now 8 minutes and 30 seconds long, then let me know, because I know I'm being kind of vague, but I think that you get my point. So that's all I have to say. That's it. Let me know your opinions and thoughts. I'm very curious. And yeah, have a happy Tuesday night. Bye.